Everyone. Hello. I'm Cheldin Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. We're doing our best to show up as often as we possibly can. I'm a little spoiled by all of your company and enthusiasm as we are gearing up for This Is It Network Live. This Is It Network Live is our women's conference that will be held next week. So that's next Friday, September 19th, here at the Forum Event Center. Thanks to our friends at Innovative Catering Concepts. We are hosting an array of different remarkable women, tons of conversations, panel discussions, gifts, food, all of the things. If you are on the East Coast or you're not scared of planes, trains, and automobiles, make sure that you make your way over here to the East Coast. We are doing our best to do our best. I want to reintroduce myself for all of you as we broadcast live on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Again, my name is Cheldin Barlett Rumor. I'm the CEO and executive producer of This Is It Network. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do that each and every day through our growing community, our engaging content, and the real connections in which we provide. Not only can you subscribe to This Is It Network by downloading This Is It Network on iOS, Android, or watching it on your smart TV through Apple TV, Roku, or Fire TV, you can also log in and follow us everywhere you find at This Is It TV. This Is It Network, again, does our best to elevate, motivate, and inspire. We provide positive perspective on what's going on in the world to the best of our ability, even in the darkest times. So I would like for all of you to do that. I'd love for all of you to download This Is It Network on your iOS or Android. Follow us on all social media platforms and tune in every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern to Cheldin Live. This is our opportunity to connect with you and share all the exciting things that we have got going on. So again, next Friday, we have our This Is It Network Live Women's Conference. We'd love for you to be able to join us. Taquan, if you could share that with everybody. We have to have you. Again, This Is It Network Live will be hosted next week, next Friday, September 19th, here at the Forum Event Center. If you want to be able to share that with them as well, the Forum Event Center, we're so grateful for their sponsorship. We're so grateful for their support. Rocco, Daryl, Maria, Claire, Don, everybody from the team, we're excited to be able to host you here. So please make sure that you check it out. We're very excited about all of the things we've got going on. In all of that excitement, we do recognize that today is September 11th. And all of you remember Tuesday, September 11th, 2001, and the devastation that happened here in the United States. We were committed to never forgetting. We're also on the heels of yesterday, September 10th, a countless amount of devastation in school shootings that continue to happen. Those of you that know us and those of you that follow us understand our commitment to ensuring that there is gun safety here in the U.S. We have always, or I shouldn't say always, for the past several years, we've been contributing and donating to an organization called Everytown. Taquan, if you could share that again on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Everytown.org is an organization that you can follow along, that you can support if you are interested. Everytown.org provides more information as well as moves forward to make sure that gun safety is a priority for us here in the United States. There's a lot of devastation. There's a lot of, I'm not even going to be coy, there's no confusion. I think that we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then there's an option that we have, and this is the theme that I have for today. There's an option to fight and there's an option to work. And sometimes fighting, seems like the only option. And sometimes when we are fighting against people who are not willing to fight back, people who are not willing to listen, we are getting tired in the fight. But what I want us to do is find energy. I want us to find energy in the work. The fight can be exhausting, and we find ourselves constantly arguing with people, trying to convince them. But what I'm interested in doing moving forward is I'm interested in working. And through the work, there is aspiration. Through the work is how can I get involved? Why I love everytown.org is they're constantly working. Sometimes that work results in arguments. Sometimes that work results in confrontation, but I don't want that work to result in violence. I want us to continue to work. I'm not interested in having debates over the commonality of kindness, equality, diversity, inclusion, things that should just simply be a given. But I am willing to work towards those things. I'm willing to sit down with people who do not know me, who fear me, who do not like me, who find me slightly annoying or judge me before actually getting to know me, and I'm willing to do the work. I know that we are in scary times. I know that more than not, we want to be able to surrender, and we want to be able to be like, what's the point? What's the bother? Nothing's going to change. And oftentimes we get more exhausted by the fight than we do the work, because in the work, I can surround myself with like-minded people, and together we can determine what the next steps will be. Together we can come up with a plan. Together we can be able to move forward. And that's what I'm dedicated to doing. Those of you that know me well. I have 2 children that I'm obsessed with, that I am dedicated to ensuring that this life is better for them than it was for me. And the only way that I can do that is if I work. The only way that I can do that is if I put one foot in front of the other in order to be able to get closer to a life in which they deserve. I do not think that what I'm asking any of us to do or what I am doing is going to be easy. If anything, it is going to be hard. I am scared. I am petrified constantly. I believe that the things in which we are talking about on a day-to-day basis is so much outside of our control that we feel helpless. But what I'm going to do is work with what is in my control. I am surrounded by people who want a better life, not only for me, but those in their life. For the children that we have, for the communities that we love, we want better. And in order to do that, we need to do just that. We need to work. And I think that for being able to find organizations that are already doing the work, and my commitment to what that looks like. At This Is It Network, I know that the majority of people who are doing the work do not have microphones. The majority of people who have something to say, no one is listening. The majority of people who tend to be introverted but in the lab don't have the resources and the technique in order to tell their story. But what I want to do is to be able to provide that platform. For those of you that are new to This Is It Network, that is what we are here for. We are here to tell the stories that often aren't told. We're here to be able to create enthusiasm and a language and draft copy and share dialogue on topics that are typically not shared or are held by people who have expertise but don't have resource. This Is It Network is that vehicle. And now more than ever, when we are feeling exhausted, when we are feeling as if all of the efforts that we are making, all of the kindness we have in our heart seems extinguished by everybody's efforts to be able to take from us or to take away or to be able to provide a space that isn't safe. I want us to be able to provide a safe space. Find it within ourselves in order to be able to do so. And I know we are exhausted. We are exhausted by saying the same thing over and over again and pretending that the next time I say it is going to make a difference. What I want to do is to rally the like-minded folks. I want us to be able to be in company and community with individuals who have an outlook for this nation, outlook for this world, outlook for our lives that will bring not only joy, both personally and professionally, but actually make an impact. As opposed to each of us just speaking out into the wind, what can we do collectively? How can we work together to be able to make this happen? I will never say that I have all of the answers, but I know that one of the things that we need to do is work. And for a lot of you, you have been working tirelessly and you feel like what you are saying is falling on deaf ears. You feel as if what you're doing is without reward or resolve. And I understand it because oftentimes when we are doing the thing, oftentimes when we are in the trenches, we feel as if it is thankless. And we see the sanity in our words, we see the impact, we see the life that we could have, but we find ourselves really, really overwhelmed by the fact that it seems so out of reach. And I think we need to create more of these collectives within our community, collectives amongst our industries, collectives amongst our friends and family, in order to be able to get closer to what it is that we want, especially when we're in the eye of the storm. The majority of people that are seeking a better life, that are seeking solution and resolution, are used to dancing in the rain. They're used to being in a situation where all of the answers are not provided. They're used to being the underdog. But what if all the dogs move in unison? What if we all move together? What if we stop pointing fingers in various ways? What if we stop figuring out ways to be able to harm each other or who is right? And we begin to dance in the rain at the same beat, on the same time, in the same way. That is my ask. I'm not going to claim that I know exactly how to solve the world's problems. I know for a fact that I don't. I know that there is so much beyond what it is that I can even wrap my hand around, and I'm always exhausted. But I am more scared than I am tired. I am more scared that I'm going to get a call after I drop my kids off from school. I'm scared that the drills that they are practicing in day by day to lock down their rooms aren't going to work. I am petrified. I am petrified that with all of my accolades and all of my work and all that I've contributed, that people still look at me as affirmative action. I am scared. I am scared when I walk in the room that there is prejudgment as it relates to me. And whether or not that is justified in your eyes, I'm telling you what I feel. But based on what it is that I feel, I am willing to do the work. I am willing to work alongside all of you in order to be able to find the people who have the answers, work with those people to deliver the messages, create opportunities and content around what we can do to make this world better. Because yesterday, and what we are remembering today, the activity of yesterday, September 10th, and what we are remembering today, September 11th, is motivation enough for me to work. Lesser things have gotten people in motion. We have become so numb to the trials and tribulations of this world. We have become so numb to breaking news and announcements that we move through life in a way that doesn't necessarily provide us with any resolve, but just another headline, just another punchline, just another, green screened TikTok for me to be able to provide commentary on. But what I would love for us to do is to reward the individuals who have been in the game, who have been working so diligently. When we ask each other, what can we do? There are people who are actively doing. There are people who are actively doing with active links and continued meetings, and they're working, in most cases volunteering, to be able to help us move forward. We can choose to turn on our cameras in our pajamas, in our bed, and provide commentary as it relates to what we think the world should look like, or we could get to work. And the work doesn't have to be a gigantic parade or a large protest. It could be a monthly donation of $1 at a time. It could be going to a meeting. It could be cold calling. It could be actually connecting with people in real life, in real time, where one person becomes 10 and 10 becomes 100 and 100 becomes a million, and that becomes a movement. I know you are exhausted, but I know that we are more scared than we are tired. I know that we look at what's happening in the world and we know that it is wrong. If you did not vote in the same direction as I, you can tell that this does not feel right. This does not feel safe. The tension that we have in our post offices when we're checking out at the grocery store, where we're looking for different color hats to determine on what side of history you live on, we know that this is not okay. And what This Is It Network wants to do is to bring together the ways in which we communicate and the ways in which we connect in as positive a way as possible. And I know that it is not an easy lift, because anything worth doing is not an easy lift. I know that the majority of you say that I am trying, and I do not deny that, because you wake up every day being a good person. You wake up every day wanting to take care of not only yourself, but your family and your community. You don't have the right links. You don't have the right connections. You feel that every post that you make is in vain. But I am more scared than I am tired. And what I want for all of us to do in this moment is to determine how do we move forward. We have every right to be angry. for the time in which it takes you to be angry, to grieve for the time in which it takes you to grieve. And then we need to determine what the plan is. We need more storytelling. We need more people to tell stories that are hopeful, but provide resource. This is not just to motivate and inspire. It is to provide action. We aspire for an amazing world, right? Where our children are safe, where there's food on the table, where there's health care. We aspire for all of those things. But what are the steps needed to be able to get to that space? What not only is the long-term goal, but what is the today goal that needs to happen? What is the meeting we need to attend, the link you need to provide, the hope you need to be able to share? What is it? And in so many cases, we are left without that action. We all have a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings, and we feel big, and we feel all we have to feel in so many different ways. But it feels as if we're all rowing the boat in 17 different directions, therefore spinning around in circles and going nowhere. The majority of us do not want this. We do not want to feel this. We have no interest in going to funerals and mourning and thoughts and prayers. This is not what we want to do. And the minute we admit it to ourselves, and also equally admit the fact that we do not have the answers, admit the fact that you do not know what to do, admit the fact that together we can figure it out, that sitting with you equally confused, equally disappointed, is a step in a right direction, because crawling is still forward. And so many of us are too scared to crawl. So many of us are too scared to even be able to inch forward that we do nothing at all. We throw our hands up in exhaustion. And again, I will say, I am more scared than I am tired. I am more scared than I am exhausted. And do I want to argue with strangers? And I won't, because there is no real argument here. There is no real fight to have. There is no real debate. Kindness and love will always win for me. That's the only way that it works. Being able to work with people who want to work to create a better life. And in order to be able to do that, admittedly, it has to be funded. Love needs to be funded. Love needs to be supported. It needs to have a rally. It needs to have a kind piece of it. We need to be able to work together to figure it out. And I know the majority of you are petrified. And we have to channel that fear into actual work. And we don't seem to have very many answers as it relates to how we are going to get through this. But we cannot get through this by ourselves. We just can't. It is a boulder that is too hard to push alone. And so we can point fingers and we can yell at each other and we can be disappointed in the state of the world as it stands, or we can channel all of that fear into the ability for us to be able to work together, knowing that it isn't going to happen overnight, knowing that it isn't going to be easy. I'm not interested in blaming people who are in the game. I'm not interested in creating friction in the wrong direction. I'm not interested in spinning my wheels. I'm not interested in debating people on kindness, diversity, and inclusion. I'm only interested in working. I realize that the majority of people will not be in the lab. They will not be working with me. And that is fine, because the majority of people who are fighting for kindness, love, and diversity know that they are fighting for all of those things for people who are equally not fighting for those things. People that benefit from those things. And I want for us to be able to really understand the state of affairs that we are in. And it is not because, right, for a lack of trying on so many people's parts. What I want for us to do is to try together. I provide no absolutes. I provide no direct answers, as opposed to just simply stating that it can't be this. It can't be this. What happened yesterday on September 10th, the 2 school shootings that happened yesterday on September 10th, and what we are in remembrance of and memory of on September 11th, that cannot be the world we live in. But it is, in fact. I'm not naivete to say, oh my goodness, this is not who we are. This is literally who we are. And the goal is to be able to make it better. And without looking into the sun, you do not know you need the shade. We need to be able to recognize the situation in which we are in, the magnitude of that situation. And we need to figure out how we are going to move forward in the storm. I am willing, raised hands, they're willing to be able to figure out ways to be able to figure this out, to find experts and provide them with the platform. Provide them with an opportunity to share their expertise. Let them know, let the world know, let people who are willing to listen know that there are people working towards making the world a better place. Because you and I all know that the people who are doing the majority of the work do not have professional microphones. The people who are actually contributing to this world in a meaningful way aren't launching YouTube channels. They're not going viral on TikTok. They're not trying to be Instagram famous. But we need to be able to support them in a way that gets what it is that they are doing and the information that they are providing to the right people. I am interested in being part of that. I'm interested in telling those stories. I'm interested in sitting down and providing perspective that is productive. I'm not interested in debating people for the sake of debating people and arguing with people about the fact that the sky is blue and that kindness needs to win. Because if you're coming to sit with me to tell me that that is not the case, if you're coming to sit with me to tell me and advocate for hatred and divisiveness, I am not interested. But what I am interested in is working to make the world better, to give people more, not to give people less. I'm only interested in abundance. I'm only interested in sharing the ways of this world in a way that makes sense, in the way that is useful. I want for all of us to be able to work together in a productive way, to be able to work together to tell stories, to connect remarkable people to inspiring stories, to give them action and resource, to tell them not only what it is that we believe in a way to make the world a better place, but give them actual tools in order to do so. In the absence of water in the desert, people drink sand. And if we do not tell stories, not only of inspiration and motivation, but if we do not provide resource to support that inspiration and motivation, we are leaving them with nothing but sand to drink. It is time to quench the thirst of those who want something better. It's time to quench the thirst of those who want something more. Because those of us who are living in the storm, those of us who are fighting with childhood friends, who are discontinuing conversations with adults that we've known since we were 2, finding disappointment in conversations with colleagues that we trusted, are tired. But I am more scared than I am fatigued. And that fear is what's going to have me move forward. My goal is for us to be able to connect, to work together and to share, to be able to figure out the best ways in order for us to be able to move forward. At This Is It Network, we provide those opportunities. We provide opportunities for you to be able to tell your story. So if you are an expert in a particular genre of education, if you can provide a little bit of insight, or you have an organization or group that is working diligently but doesn't have Viacom advertising dollars, that doesn't have the ability to boost a post on Facebook, I want for you to reach out to us. If you are doing what you want to do to be able to make this world a better place, if you are working collectively with individuals in order to make your community better, your neighborhood better, the corner store better for you, more people need to know about you today than yesterday. The goal is to be able to tell your story. The goal is for you to be able to find individuals that can help you move forward. And I know and recognize that you are doing the best with the resources that you have. But what I'm saying to you is that we would like to be a resource for you as well. We would like to be a place where you can count on, a place where you can log in and you can be able to see not only hope, but action. And we're celebrating that all with the upcoming event that we have. We have an event that is coming up next Friday. And that, again, is our This Is It Network event on... Nope, just there's a slide right there. There's a This Is It Network event. It will be launched next Friday on September 19th. Thanks to our amazing friends at Rem Jewelry, forgive me. Realist is going to be there. Hologic, thank you so much for your support. Fertile is going to be there. We're going to be talking about women's health and how to be able to activate and move things forward. Again, we're going to be having our This Is It Network live women's event on September 19th here at the Forum Event Center. The Forum Event Center is located in Blackwood, New Jersey. For those of you that are willing and would like to come join us, those of you on the East Coast are willing to take a plane, train, or automobile to get here September 19th, next Friday, we will be celebrating all of the remarkable women within our community and talking about what we need to do to move forward, what we need to do collectively to be able to connect with each other, both online and off. There are little things that can happen. I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that I donate regularly to an organization called Everytown. Everytown.org helps us in fighting for gun safety. Everytown is really supporting Everytown.org, the education behind it, the movement behind it. My goal is to provide you different resources every single day to help you move forward, to help you get involved, to help you see a better way of doing things in a way that it is, in fact, productive. I know that you are sick and you are tired, but I know that we are more scared than we are fatigued. And the fatigue that we have will help propel us forward. We may not agree on everything. We may not. We may not vote in the same way down the line, but we know that this does not feel right. We know that we would rather work together than not. We know that the majority of people, God willing, aren't going anywhere. And to figure out how to work and live together is the only way forward. This Is It Network provides that as an option. This Is It Network provides that as a resource. Now that you can download us on iOS and Android, you can watch us on your smart TVs, Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. We have created a platform that is ready for change, that is ready to celebrate not only the efforts that you are making, but the stories that you are telling. People cannot donate to what they do not know. People cannot buy what they cannot find. People cannot support who they haven't seen. So a platform that is willing to be part of the conversation, a platform that is willing to elevate remarkable people and tell remarkable stories that inspire and motivate is what we have created. But what we need is for you to be involved in the conversation. What we need is for you to send us a message, send us a DM, get in touch with us when you can. What we need is for us to have real conversations that matter, for us to sit with each other and figure out what we are going to do, not just what is happening in this moment. What is the plan of action? How can we move forward? Good morning. My name is Cheldin Barlett-Rumer. For those individuals who are just logging on, I'm the CEO and executive producer of This Is It Network. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We meet each and every day to be able to provide engaging content and real life opportunity for us to be able to connect. We're going to do our best to show up through Cheldin Live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll continue to do that. We have a number of different shows in which we are launching on our network and platform. We're launching 26 new shows between now and January 1st. We are excited and we are traveling to DC on Monday, and we're going to be filming in DC a brand new show. Shout out to Jen Polt, who will be hosting that show for us in the Washington, DC area. So for those of you that are in Washington, DC and you're around on Monday, let me know. We'll be shooting more of Remarkable Women with Cheldin Barlett-Rumer on Wednesday, the 17th, and then we'll be hosting our event on Friday, September 19th. We have so many things in which we have cooking, so many things in which we have going on, so many opportunities for you to be able to work with us, to not feel as if you're idle in this time, in this challenging space. There's so many things that are happening that are allowing us all to feel as if everything is out of control. But to be able to work with like-minded people, to be able to connect with people who want to be able to move forward in a way that is productive, at least can have us moving in the right direction, because I truly believe that crawling is still forward. And if I have to crawl with you, let that be the case versus not moving forward at all. This Is It Network is available on your iOS and Android. You can log on and watch us through your smart TV at Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. You can contact us directly through any links within the post or as well as the link in bio. You can log on to thisisItTV.com for you to learn more about This Is It Network and all that we've got going on. You can be able to watch all of the programs by logging on to thisisit.tv. And to be able to get a little bit of inspiration and motivation, you can follow us on every single social media platform everywhere you can find at This Is It TV. I know that you are tired, but I know that I am more scared than I am fatigued. And that fear is going to keep me moving and working in the right direction. I'm Cheldin Barlett-Rumor, and this is it. I will see you next time for another edition of Cheldin Live. For more information, again, log on to thisisItTV.com and follow, fan, and like us everywhere you find at This Is It TV. The goal I have for all of you is to no longer whisper your wishes, but with confidence and determination for all of us to scream our dreams. I'll see you soon. Take care.